I really feel like no matter what a woman has or what a woman brings to the table, it really doesn't matter because, I mean, they just scared to be left.
Men have standards, and sometimes that means you're out. Subscribe, let's talk about it.
I really feel like the only reason why men got standards on women is because they're afraid of them leaving. Like, why are you truly upset about gold diggers? I guess it's because you feel like she gonna leave you for a guy that got more money than you. Why you, like, you know, that's why guys be like, oh, I guess, like, what you bring to the table, this and that, da-da-da-da-da. But, like, I really feel like no matter what a woman has or what a woman brings to the table, it really doesn't matter because, I mean, they just scared to be left.
So to be fair, I don't know really what she's talking about. I'm not sure she thought about it. She just hit record and then said, oh, this is good, and posted it. But men are, let's just take the first from the top. Men are afraid of gold diggers because they're afraid that they're going to be left by someone else that has more money. That's literally not why men are, wary of gold diggers. I don't want to say afraid, but wary of gold diggers. No one wants their time and resources, stolen away because someone feigned interest in you to take what you've worked so hard to build. I think that's a normal reaction that everyone would have. You see the same thing when you see celebrity women having to pay alimony. A lot of women lose their minds over that because you feel as if a man is not supposed to do that she worked hard for that, and here he comes taking that money. Well, you give grace and understanding for women that when that happens to them, but men understand that clearly because men are often used for their resources and it's not hidden. When you open up your app or any one of the apps, you just go online, there's plenty of women saying if he's not lighting your load, he's not paying a bill, he's not taking care of this, then you should not even talk to him. You should not even entertain him. Not that you shouldn't love him, not that you shouldn't get a relation with him. You shouldn't even give him your number. This is the rhetoric going online. So yeah, the counter would make sense. That men are saying, you've got to look and eliminate these gold diggers first and foremost. If you see her moving like that, you know what game to play or not to play at all. Listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. Subscriber Sunday, we got, live stream going on Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Time, so make sure you're there. We got merch in the store, so, hype the video and share the video. And of course, we got membership over, and we're going to do more and more exclusive videos. We're also going to try to create another, just stay tuned. We're working on that. But besides that, look, men have standards. Especially the higher up you go in the quality of man. Hierarchically, the more you travel up, the closer you get from that 15% to the 10%, 5%, 1%, the standards go up. And the standards are there to, eliminate, to exclude a lot of riffraff. And if a lot of men are riffraff, I think it's very fair to say a lot of women are the same way. Not everyone is going to just be able to say, put it like this. Women are very fond of saying, you want that Instagram baddie, but you don't have Instagram baddie money. You don't have that lifestyle. So you should date within your tax bracket. That's a very familiar refrain. So the same thing is flipped. Maybe men, because men don't look for you to have that sort of money in excess, but there are other qualities about you that can turn a lot of quality men off. One thing, right? If we go back to this, your hair color. Green is not something that most men of that stature want to explain when you are in their life and say, oh, this is such and such, she represents me. And they're going to look, the people on that level, that caliber, that echelon, are going to say, that's an interesting hair color choice. You don't really see that happening in those tiers of society. Blue hair, green hair, red, you don't really see that. Those are natural colors, not a thing. That's a way that men say this is the standard and how you exclude yourself. It's not something readily talked about, but you just have to pay attention to see how that happens. But back here in the real world, in the trenches with the rest of us, yes, men have very real standards, especially as they start to do better for themselves. That's why a lot of times you'll see, and I get the rhetoric, I get the fear that, hey, when we were just starting out, you were down, we were down together. And the minute he started getting money, now he left you. Well, there's something that happens. I'm not talking about the scam. I'm not talking about the quick money. I'm talking people that have built something along the way, have taken their time to increase who they are, to better who they are, more experiences, and they're saying they're leaving a lot of that stuff in the past behind. You're supposed to grow and change with that person as they go from having nothing to building the blocks or the foundation, or finally make it. A lot of us are very fine in who we are, and we stay that way in relationships. Understanding that we're supposed to change, understanding that over time things change and we should change along with new experiences. But when you remain who you are and you have a partner that's changed, this is genderless, right? You have a partner that has refused to change. What happens? You end up leaving them. You end up leaving them because you know the importance of who is around you, who's around you the most. And sometimes those people that you may love them, you may care about them, but they keep you locked in place. So you have to do the only logical thing. If your trajectory is the moon, you can't stay with someone that doesn't even know, that doesn't have a driver's license. You know where you're supposed to go. You know what you're trying to work on. Sometimes you do your best to help that person move with you, but sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. So instead of looking at it and saying there's something wrong with him, look how men move. Most men don't really have this opportunity to do this. It's fear that has kind of unlocked that thing. But men absolutely have standards. And men, if you don't have standards, you should get one, right? That might be a whole nice topic to get into on a later date, probably on a live stream. You need standards. You need to be saying no more often than you're saying yes. When it comes down to the people around you, and it comes down to even, maybe it's not you saying no, but maybe you should stay your hand and saying the people that you may try to allow in your life. If you're in an area you wanna have a woman on your arms, you should be quietly and properly vetting the qualities that she has, the characteristics that she has, how she holds herself, how she speaks, how she introduces herself, how she carries herself. These are important things that you need to be looking at. We need to walk away from just the, she's cute, all right? That ass is fat, and that's enough for you. The minute you start having these standards around you, creating and cultivating the standards, you'll start to see that other people start to leave your life. You stop getting so much attention, so much calls, so many texts, because you are now raising the bar. And men, this is important. You need to raise your standard and let some people filter out your life. It doesn't mean cutting them out. It doesn't mean you never talk to them. They just don't have the same type of prominence in your life anymore. That's fine. A lot of us who do better would start looking for the type of women that we would want, where we picture ourselves where we're going to be, rather than where we are or where we came from. These are the things that keep you stuck where you are. And I'm never going to say that, that women are detrimental to you, but our lust for them becomes so problematic because we'll let that distract us. That'll become our main focus. And all of a sudden we're nowhere near where we should be, but we're in a situation that we look up and we say, yeah, man, maybe I made some mistakes here. So it's time for us to say, cool, standards, right? Standards. Take the playbook from the women, right? Open up their playbook and say, what, standards? Great. We should be doing the very same thing. You should be looking and saying, as much as I might like to, you just don't qualify. That's a powerful thing for you to internalize and then you to bring out, hey, listen, love all this, but you're not what I'm looking for. You're not what I need. This is not going to help elevate and take me to where I need to be. So I wish you the best. Detach with love. Peace, love. That's what I like. But listen, I could be wrong. You may have a different way of doing it. You may have do a way that makes more sense, and I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to the sound of my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.